New Zealand news, live from the capital, Wellington. Numbers brought from the finest university in our largest city, Auckland, has shown that the second and third largest ethnic group are rising, but Europeans are still the largest ethnic group. And now over to the sport with Jakob.
Thank you, Max. As you all know, sport is very popular in New Zealand. Here we play everything from tennis to cricket. Cricket is the most popular. It's also the national summer sport. Many other sports play here, as rugby of course, netball, basketball, golf and rowing, and a lot of water sports, particularly sailing and surf sports. New Zealand have many merits in sport. Michael Campbell won the US Championship 2005 in golf. And now you will see a short clip when Michael Campbell beats Tiger Woods 2005.
That was the exclamation point on his championship round. Then at 18, having been in the rough, chipped out, this was his third shot to the par 4. Stopped it on a dime at the 18th green. And then Michael Campbell. This for bogey. And the U.S. Open Championship. Rounds of 71, 69, 71, and an outstanding 69 today.
Wow, what an amazing effort. The cricket team took gold medal in ECC Champions Trophy 2000 and Hayden Rulstone took gold medal in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. That was everything from the sports. I'm Jakob Westrin and back to you, Max.
Hey, Jakob. The New Zealand election was won yesterday by the centre-right National Party. They won with a landslide victory over their biggest competitor, the Labour Party. And now over to the history guy, Mathias.
Thank you, Max. And now we're going to show you a short film about the history of New Zealand. Hello. We will now tell you a little bit about New Zealand's history. If we travel back 700 years to when it was first discovered and settled by the Polynesians, a mighty Greek tribe people from Eastern Europe who developed a distinct Maori culture centered on kinship links and land. The first European explorer to sight New Zealand was Abel Jansen Tasman in December 13, 1642. Captain James Cook, who reached New Zealand in October 1769 on the first of the 2-3 voyages, was the first European explorer to circumnavigate the map of New Zealand. From the late 18th century, the country was regularly visited by explorers and other sailors, missionaries, traders and adventurers. In 1840, the Treaty of Waitangi was signed between the British Crown and various Maori chiefs, bringing New Zealand into the British Empire and giving Maori equal rights between the British citizens. There was an extensive British settlement throughout the rest of the country. Born and in position of the European economic and legal system most led to New Zealand's land passing from Maori to European ownership, and most of the Maori subsequently became impoverished, and the European people fed on the nature and the beautiful islands and took down trees to make more room for buildings. Then the Maori tribe saw it on the bright side and started to trade with European people. The metal were very useful to make Maori fishing hooks and axes. Wow, great short film. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Now we're going to talk with our animal and wildlife reporter, Fredrik. Fredrik, can you hear us? Can you explain where you are right now?
I'm here in a beautiful landscape close to the place where they filmed Shire in Lord of the Rings. Shire is where the hobbits lived. You can see this place in all the movies. Just 1 hour from here we have a rainforest. There is really hot and the humidity is high. You can see different animals everywhere you go, especially birds.
Tell them about some well-known animals you can see in the nature in New Zealand?
The most well-known animal from New Zealand is the kiwi. Because of few dangerous predators, the kiwi has developed so it can't fly and it only lives here. A lot of new animals has come to New Zealand after we humans came here. For example, there was no snakes here before we came. As Europeans settled New Zealand, they have hunted birds and brought predators including rats.
Explain for our viewers about the famous landscape we are in right now.
It's unbelievable, absolutely amazing. You should all travel here to see this by yourself. That's all for me. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Fredrik. And now it's time for Geographic with Jakob.
The geography of New Zealand encompasses 2 main islands and a number of small islands. The North Island is called Te Ika Mau and the South Island is called Te Waiponamu in Maori. The 2 main islands are separated by the Cook Strait, which is a strait between the 2 main islands of New Zealand. It connects the Tasman Sea on the northwest and with the South Pacific Ocean on the southeast. It's 22 kilometers wide at the narrowest point between the 2 main islands. New Zealand is ranked as the 76th biggest country in the world, consisting of about 300,000 square kilometers. The highest point is Mount Cook, which is measured 3,754 meters. The neighboring countries include Australia to the northwest and Tonga and Fiji to the north. New Zealand consists of 16 regions, 7 in the south and 9 in the north. That was everything from me. Thank you.
Most of New Zealand culture originates from the Maori tribes. So does also mostly of the literature. They was eventually written down and translated into English. A very classic book was written by George Group. It's called Negaha Motete.
Thank you, Max. There are 2 different languages speaking in New Zealand, like English, the official language with a New Zealand accent, and the Maori tribe speaking language that came with the Polynesians back in at least 700 years.
Thank you, Mathias. The story actor Russell Crowe's face will once again be shown on silver screen. That is the cinema. You may know him from The Gladiator, where he won an Oscar, or The Beautiful Mind. And young scene artist Ella Janice O'Connor, or you perhaps know her by her artist name, Lordy. She have really gotten a breakthrough this year, and she has top of the charts in America and many other countries, with her top hit, Royals. That's all for us in Wellington, and New Zealand news. Good evening. Jag glömde bort vad jag skulle komma till.
Oj.
There. Sorry. I had one yesterday, but the Labour Party, National Party, by the National Party, yesterday, by the National Central Left Labour Party. The Central. Så jävla stört. It's university. Fan, show me that. And in Sportsman shown as Auckland culture.
Ditt jävla CP! Du är så jävla CP, Fredrik!
Jag kommer ha svårt att byta. Jag kommer ha svårt att bättre.
Ja, vi kommer att börja igen när jag låste.